Today an astonishing story has come into our lives. We were in Mr. Big Heron's old but comfortable Victorian house in the city of London. While he was enjoying the sights from his wide and luminous window, I was reading intensively The Volume by the fireplace in the living room. All of a sudden the postman arrived with a telegram which was going to change the course of our day. A couple of hours later we were arriving at Penguin Village. It was quite a peaceful and lovely village, located in the mountains, whose inhabitants lived on cattle raising, with a small church just opposite the town hall, surrounding a small square. A tribe that lived there sent us a message. They were facing a delicate situation. All the animals had disappeared suddenly from the circular wooden enclosure, which was next to the farm, built especially to keep them protected. Apparently, the animals lived there for a long time, and the only person who looked after them and had access to them was the shepherd. That same morning, the shepherd went to feed them, as usual, and he was open-mouthed with surprise when he found the stables empty. After not finding them, he ran back to the village to sound the alarm. The shocked tribe decided to verify the shepherd's words by going to the enclosure by themselves. The enclosure was still empty. The animals had disappeared as if by magic. The only thing they could see was paw and hoofprints on the ground. Nothing was damaged, and nobody had a clue about their whereabouts.
This was a serious situation because these animals were the source of the tribe's income and food source. For this reason, they had to find them at any cost. Mr. Big Heron got down to work immediately. He started wandering around, paying attention to every single detail that was not visible to everyone else. He walked all throughout the grounds, looking at the hoof prints, sometimes kneeling down to have a closer look, some others just walking by, as if he was nothing but just going for a walk. Then, after having made a very precise image of the location in which the mystery was taking place, he called the shepherd for a little talk.
I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind,
he said, and as the shepherd was nodding, he went on.
Could you please tell me what you saw here today?
Sure, sir. Me came here very early this morning, as me does every day, and what could be my surprise when me found out that there was no animal left here,
said the shepherd.
But was everything okay here last night? When was the last time you saw the animals?
Asked Mr. Big Heron.
Sir, me just did as me's been used to. Me stayed here till noon,
replied the shepherd.
And was any animal injured, or were all of them completely healthy?
Asked Mr. Big Heron.
Well, sir, me gotta tell ya, there were a couple of them who had a wounded leg. Nothing important, you know. Just normal matters with animals, you know,
said the shepherd.
I see,
said Mr. Big Heron.
Thanks a lot.
And continued just pacing up and down.
Well, I think I'm already done with this,
he said after a couple of minutes more.
If we could just go somewhere where we could perhaps have a seat and a cup of tea, it would be perfect.
Just after getting our drinks, Mr. Big Heron had a gulp of his teacup and then, directly pointing at Shipson, said,
So, are you going to bring all the animals back to the tribe and tell them how and why? Or do I have to do it myself?
Shipson started stuttering and replied,
Nay, sir, nay. Me doesn't know nothing about that. Me didn't do that.
Come on, Jack, don't be that way. You know I know everything about that.
Okay.
Shipson moaned.
Me did it, me so sorry.
So, what happened with the animals exactly? Where did you hide them?
Okay, me'll tell ya. See, me family needed some money for food, so me decided to get it at any cost. As every morning, me used to go to the enclosure to feed the animals and to look after them. But 2 nights ago, me decided that a good way to get that money was to steal some animals to sell them on the market. So, me thought that making an identical enclosure for the animals, me would manage to hide them and sell them.
Jack, I've never thought you would steal our animals. You're a traitor. I want you off of our land. But Mr. Heron, how did you know that?
Well, it wasn't really difficult to figure everything out. As we were going to the enclosure, I noticed there was an animal path which we came across. It didn't seem to go towards where the animals were supposed to be, so it could only lead to the real enclosure. Then, once we got there were no paw nor hoof prints out of the enclosure, and the ones inside were all as if made from the same leg, which was not possible if they hadn't been made by a fake one. Then, as Shipson confirmed, it was everything okay yesterday. I had no more doubts about it. It is virtually impossible to move all the animals in a single night without anyone noticing it. So it could only have been him, and well, the rest is already known.